Welcome back. It's Hard Facts, 92.3 Nigeria Info. Sam Oracle Chinedu here. Of course, these conversations that we hold on radio, they always matter. I told you that we'll be speaking about development, particularly connected to the 59th anniversary of the state. But, and this is where the apology begins. I always apologize when I know that I've done something wrong, and when I make a solemn promise that I will not repeat it. I had no idea that my guest was an Arsenal fan. I did not know. If I had known, I would have refused to have this conversation or not had it with him. Because around this time, these people have pride. They're just proud for no reason. I saw a video where the Arsenal coach, Arteta, was promising his players that they'll be champions of Europe. I'm like, really? Is this what it is now? And my guest came here with, just this pompous air. His shoulders were lifted up. I'm like, are you sure we're going to do this? But well, it is what it is. I've been trapped. Ebenezar Wikina, who is running things at Policy Shapers, joins me in the studio. Hello, Eben. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thank you. Sam, you're lucky I'm not in my jersey. I wore my jersey for most of last week.
I promise you will not be in this studio. We would have... I would make sure you don't make it here. I would make sure that you do not make it here. So I've introduced Eben through his countless profiles. Of course, interviewing over 100 world leaders, winning awards across different parts of the country, doing things with Nguvu. Is it Nguvu? How is it pronounced?
Nguvu Collective.
Yes, Nguvu Collective. And of course, running things with Policy Shapers. But this is the first time I think I've had to address him by his club affiliation. Proud. Because shame has been lifted off their face.
Proudly.
After over 2 decades. If you wait 22 years to win a trophy, I think you deserve to be introduced as an Arsenal fan.
Yes, please.
So, Ebenezar Wikina is the founder of Policy Shapers and convener of Rivers 2050 Vision. And James Chamberlain, or Omailey, who's a team member, is also right here with us. Hello, James.
Hi, Mr. Sam. Good to meet you.
Yes.
And it's good to be here again.
Yes, indeed. You look like you're ready for this interview. You're in a suit, right? Now, I don't like... Even if you tell me you're an Arsenal fan, I'm pleased to meet you. You're like a more composed version. But let me ask nonetheless, what club do you support?
I don't support any club for now.
Okay, that's okay. Stay that way.
But I think...
I don't think you should join. Long life and prosperity.
But I think I still love Baka.
That's good. That's good.
I think I still love Baka. Is actually one nice.
That's a very good choice.
He likes that you're a rival fan.
Yeah, but I also have a bias for Barcelona. So
Messi, Ronaldinho,
exactly.
Eto'o,
Oh my goodness.
Deco, Puyol.
Okay.
Say no more, my brother.
Xavi, Iniesta.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
That was a prime Baka.
Yes, indeed. You're a man that is easily influenced by excellence.
Exactly.
Yes, indeed.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Thank you. So
for now, I think it's not be bad if we say if they can lift it.
No. I mean, it's not bad. It's just the fans that trigger us too much, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
They've cried their shoulders.
Arsenal should have the Champions League. I don't mind. But if people like Eben will let people rest,
To enjoy our glory.
Anyways, it's all good.
Let them enjoy while it lasts.
Yes, indeed. So, James, if you notice that you're getting more of the questions, it's because I have a bias for for your personality. just in case. Don't think there's anything wrong. All right, gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us here.
Okay, so Ebenezar, who I happen to know outside the studio personally, is someone who is genuinely, and this is not just because, this is an official setup, genuinely interested in the business of the development of River State. And you can tell from having regular conversations with him, I mean, that is the kind of passion that pushes you to start up something like Policy Shapers. Now, I'm also going to start with trivia. This is the 59th anniversary. And 59 is not a round figure, like we say. It's not 60.
Round figure.
It's old.
Exactly. If it were 50, you say, the big 50. If it were 60. But this is 59.
Yeah.
So does it hold as much, does it have that ring to it? And should we gather all our energy for next year when it's 60, or we should just still do it this year?
No, I think the anniversary, whether it's 57 or 56 or 59, I think it holds very strong importance for River State. That's the date that River State was formed, and I think that it's a day that calls us to reflect soberly, about our state and the progress that we've made. I know this year was quite different because there was so much attention on the sad abductions in Oyo State, and the fact that our anniversary coincides with Children's Day, so there was so much conversation around that, which is correct and needed to happen. But I still think that as a state, it was still a moment for us to actually look back. I was calling out the governor's media team on Twitter because there was no post from the governor about the anniversary. I know he gave a speech about it, but there was no coverage even on Twitter where the governor even talked about the 59th anniversary. So it was quite overshadowed, and I think that's part of the reason why Rivers 2050 Vision team sort of had been going around to speak about this across the states, across radio, just calling attention to the fact that our state is 59, and an individual that is 59 is 6 years away from
retirement.
from retirement.
True.
And if our state was, hypothetically an individual, would we be able to retire in 6 years? Would we say that the state has invested enough such that
we can always falsify age?
Well, okay. Well, it does look like that's the that's the trend.
We can always do that.
So it might not be a round figure. I know next year, 6th year, to have a lot more, pomp and pageantry. But I think that 59 still calls us to sort of pause and reflect on where we've gone so far as a state.
Okay. James, are you from River State?
Yeah, Anthony.
Okay, great.
So, we're good.
Now, let's talk perception. I'm asking you this question because I've asked Eben this question in many different ways.
Yeah.
The image of River State is different inside from outside. Those outside rivers, they see Port Harcourt a certain way.
That's true.
But when you enter, you now know Port Harcourt. And then you find connections between what you've heard and what you experience. Now, you happen to be from here. What is the perception of River State that you know or you've heard of? Anyone? Either external or internal, or maybe one that you have, created yourself.
Okay, I think there was this banter that happened on X sometime about Port Harcourt boys and non-Port Harcourt boys, and I tell Port Harcourt, once you get into Port Harcourt, just be street smart, otherwise then go obtain you.
Yeah.
That's so, and it's also there's this perception that you must belong in a way for you to you need to know your in and out.
To be a strong man.
You need to be a strong man.
Okay.
So you must not be a Jew man, But in reality, I don't really think that's really the thing about Port Harcourt.
Yeah.
I don't really think that's the thing about Port Harcourt. And then they have this, oil city. So there's oil everywhere.
There's money on the street.
Exactly.
Flowing with milk and honey.
That one pissed me off. That one, I got angry because, when I got this job, first person you tell, your parents.
Yeah.
That's PH. Okay, that's okay. So I was supposed to, wipe the tears of my parents.
These streets are paved with gold.
I don't understand. You reach my turn, they remove the gold.
You never even see the oil itself.
No, but you guys know the funniest thing. The funniest thing is, even though it wasn't paved with gold, but in the 80s, Port Harcourt and River State did have a lot of significance when it comes to being able to employ people.
Commerce.
The Transabadi industrial layout and stuff like that. There's stories of the fact that people used to finish their NYC and want to go to Port Harcourt. Like, that was the place to be. But now,
Abonima Wharf used to be a major commercial city on its own.
Okay.
Where trade routes, the whites exported, imported, and that's why we have the influx of the Okrika we have today. Yeah. Because these things are always coming in.
Which is now called thrift, by the way. Thrift shopping,
the thing is, it's really disheartening to see the retrogression we've had. In fact, I think the past 12 years has been so dark. 12 to 14 years has been so dark for River State. Because remember when we were still in secondary school, it wasn't as bad as what it is now or what it was before.
Yeah.
So I think, however, something can be done.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
why we're here. We're here to share ideas. We're here to say, okay, this is what we're doing and this is where we're going.
That's why these conversations are important. And it's easy to complain.
Yeah.
Believe me, everyone can be a critic. If you give somebody a masterpiece and tell them to critique it, they can still find something to complain about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Nigeria, of course, naturally gives you things to complain about. But if we're speaking solutions, after the break, we'll talk about, of course, the development plan and what the Rivers 20 vision is. If we are seeking solutions and we know what the problems are, what would you say are 3 things that would need to change in River State that would get the people seeing instant development? I know it might not be easy to encapsulate, right? But even 3 things like, if this can happen from tomorrow morning and this and that in as close as
short time,
6 months, 1 year, 3 years, we will see.
Yeah.
What would you say those things are?
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, it's tough to put everything together, but the survey we've done, so part of this work, we've surveyed 4,000 Rivers people. And our goal is to survey up to 5,000 Rivers people. Okay. And from what they're saying, 4 big things are emerging. One is education. We used to be the number 1 state for education in this country, and now many of the schools that were built during the World Book Capital era are left destroyed. So our kids have to, in the rural areas, have to choose between going to Peak Winkle or go to class because they don't have teachers. So I think education is very, very key. The second one is employment. You have a huge youth population, and it's sad that River State is currently ranked 3rd as the 3rd highest unemployment rate in the country. Makes no sense. This is where people used to come to get jobs. So the fact that we've retrogressed this much, that we're that bad, it's really sad. And then the 3rd is energy. I think that Abia is a sign to us to see, look at Abia State in 3 years. Abia is now bragging about power and saying, people's greed can keep collapsing. And us that have national
rivers, grid,
we have rivers, we have, streams, we have solar, we have gas, but we don't have our own energy grid. And actually, the fun thing is that we were a leader in this. Even before states were able to generate their own power, and like 3 administrations ago, we were having gas turbines. We had ideas for these things. They were not finished then, but then because we didn't have a plan, subsequent administrations didn't follow through with it, and billions of naira were spent on those projects that have now rot away. So energy is very key. And then the final one is economic diversification. How can we diversify our economy into non-oil sectors, like things like tourism, for example? We have a beautiful coastline that's probably more beautiful than Miami, Florida. That is just lying, wasting away. Yeah. So how do we ensure that we bring in tourism and invest in sectors that don't really necessarily have to do with oil, but can create the jobs that we need to take our youth off the street? So we call it the 4 E's: education, employment, energy, and economic diversification. If we can actually begin to focus on these 4, based on what we see from the survey, we can really go far as a state.
Okay, I like where you've gone, and unfortunately, you've opened the door to a whole lot more. The thing about employment is that employment is an effect, not a cause.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. So if you're looking at cause, there's something that gets you to that point. The availability of the kind of industrialization that would convert unemployed to employed.
Yes.
And of course, we're still speaking about the political will. But we're at that point where we need to take the break. We'll return and talk about these factors. We'll talk about the 2050 vision. And you get to be a part of the conversation. Stay with us.
Nigeria Info will be right back. We are back. This is your number 1 talk station. Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to Hard Facts.
This is Hard Facts.
Welcome back. It's still Hard Facts, 92.3 Nigeria Info. Sam, Oracle, Chinedu here. We are talking about the 59th anniversary of River State, and I have team members from Policy Shapers. I have right here with me James Chamberlain, who is a team member and an Arsenal fan, Ebenezar Wikina, the founder of Policy Shapers. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so before the break, we talked a few problems and solutions. Ebenezar gave us 4 E's, and one of them was economic diversification. Yeah. Chamberlain, I'm sure you have a few things to share from that perspective.
Okay. I looked at the budget, the federal allocation for last year, 2025. River State had about $526 billion. Billion naira.
Yeah.
Billion naira.
Yeah.
And I'm asking myself, looking at 1999 till about 2025, the state has received not less than
4 trillion.
4 trillion.
Yeah.
4 trillion.
4 trillion naira. Okay. Now, let's imagine we have 20 or 10% allocation of that budget to non-oil startups in the States. Now you can multiply the ripple effects of those projects or those organizations that will spring from those from the funds allocated. Typical case scenario, I think you had this strange factory
behind
your studio,
Yes.
That employed thousands of Rivers indigents. Where are they today?
They're still hovering. I mean, what can I say? It's they are somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah.
So now, imagine the number the factory would have employed if they were still in operation. And then you talk about Revoke, talk about Rivers Glass Company, you talk about School to Land, talk about, we can go on and on and on. Yeah. Can we just, with just 5 or 10% of our FAC allocated to non-oil startups.
Yeah. It just goes to what I was saying at the beginning. That imagine River State as a 59-year-old individual that will soon retire. You know what Chamberlain just spoke about is the money we received last year.
Just last year. I don't mean 1999.
Yeah.
I just told you 1999 to about last year. We're talking about not less than 4 trillion.
So how much of that did we save? How much of that did we invest?
So can't we create a River State investment sovereign fund or trust fund that people can access and say, okay, this is for investments, not for politics, not for any other thing, but majorly for investment.
Yeah. So that business people here so that can withdraw zero interest loans, start businesses, employ Rivers people. And because it's our money, we don't have to take anything out of it, right?
Exactly.
He just keeps going around and it keeps helping.
And then you can open up for diaspora remittance. Yeah. Like, this is a trust fund.
Yeah, and there are many Rivers people in the diaspora. So even on this project, we've had quite a number of them join. People in Canada, people in the US, Rivers people who are as worried as we are about the state of things in our states, and are saying that how can we give back somehow, And so they are part of the various projects that we're doing. So what the Chamberlain just said now, even a chance for people in the diaspora to even support. There are many people who are willing, right? We've discussed this before, Sam. I've said Rivers people are some of the smartest people. Like, if you look at the banking industry, looking at late Herbert Wigwe, you're looking at the energy industry, you're looking at people like Tony Cole and Co.
Exactly.
We are smart. So what are we doing?
We talked about the SATS guy from Graceland.
Yeah.
The guy who's called
the
highest SATS from River State. Yeah. Where are those days when we used to be the book capital of Nigeria? Yeah. And then you can also, when we were in secondary school, I still said it, we had children parliaments where children come together and we are groomed technically. We didn't know that those things that we were doing then
exposing us to leadership,
was just exposing us to the fundamentals of leadership, of governance, of decision making, of policy. So here we are today. And
let me talk about the region. All right. I hope you also know that this region had a dedicated development commission.
Yeah.
NDDC.
Yeah.
It's recently that the president expanded it and gave other regions. Yeah. But there has been NDDC for what would seem like about 20 years.
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, about 20 years. Yeah.
So you have state governments, you have, of course, the largest that comes from being an oil-bearing region.
13% derivation.
Exactly. Yeah. Then you now have a dedicated commission.
Yeah, which actually had received more than $10 billion when they did its 20th anniversary.
Yes, that was like last year.
Yeah.
And then, somehow, a region that did not have all of that can be mentioned as more developed than a state in this region.
Yeah.
Is it that people are not asking the right questions? The people are not aware, they don't have the data. What has led to the passiveness, if you may?
I think Chamberlain and I were discussing this when we were coming to the studio, and I think it's just people have gotten. I think as a people, we've gotten so comfortable with mediocrity. At some point, we've been conditioned with so much despair, and to be fair, we've been disappointed over and over by public leadership. But I think we've gotten to the point where that disappointment has gotten us so comfortable with the status quo. We just feel like it's enough. As far as I can just eat, as far as I can just.
And there's nothing I can do.
There's zero aspiration.
Yeah.
Zero aspiration. Ask people, do you know that we are the same size as Qatar that hosted the World Cup in 2022? And that they have oil, we have oil. They have gas, we have gas.
Exactly.
They are in the desert, we have the better loamy soil. They don't have water, we can dig the ground and get water here. We can plant something in our backyard and it grows. They don't even have food. They have to import so many things, but they can host the World Cup and they can pay their citizens. Do you know? And they're like, So I feel like we've gotten to the point where we're not even living aspirational lives anymore. We're not aspiring for better than what we see, and that's what we hope that Rivers 2050 should push us beyond our comfort.
To think beyond.
To think.
Yes.
Yeah,
imagine.
but knowledge.
The future we desire.
Knowledge also plays a part. I started doing the comparison with the Emirates when. Yeah. You had me on the Rivers 2050. You had a conversation with the Dubai guy.
Yes.
That was when the comparison between Rivers and Dubai, and I'm like, wait, do we compare on that scale? And there was data to show that. Yeah. So sometimes if you don't know who are considered your mates, you might not know.
You might think you're doing so well.
Exactly. You might not know. So now I know that Dubai is the standard based on size and resources and scale. It's not Rivers Lagos.
Yes.
And nobody is trying to insult, but So if you're now looking at Dubai and saying, okay, if these guys are the people that we compare with based on resources,
where are we?
Then I can make the kind of demands for the things that they have.
Exactly.
So the knowledge gap too has to play a part.
Good, very, very good point. Yeah, we think knowledge is very key. I mean, Chamberlain was saying we need to even go to the rural communities. So for this survey, just before Chamberlain comes on, so for this survey, we've gotten survey enumerators, people who have actually gone into remote communities. I'm sure a few callers might have met them, who have now surveyed close to 5,000 people. But we feel like 5,000 out of 9 million is still small. You need to still go in there and talk to people, right? It's cost us a lot of money to be able to do that. But I'm just saying, even just think of the scale of work that we still have to do to ensure that we can reach as many people as possible. And that's why we think radio is a powerful medium, because radio cuts across everywhere, to reach people, because we need to wake up. As the people, we actually need to wake up and start demanding what we deserve as a state. Yeah. Over to you, Chamberlain. You were about saying something.
Talking about education, I think we have really dropped the bar.
Yeah.
So, what's our HI index? What's the level of quality of health? Because that's major indices for development.
Yeah. Health.
Look at health, education.
Yeah.
So, how many functional primary healthcare facilities do we have in the state?
Yeah.
Then the schools now we have is where students or pupils are battling with snakes inside a classroom.
Snakes, yeah. And these
and then we have a government.
Yeah, we do.
We have a government. We have another thing I also want us to look at, as it has to do with education, is that there is would I say deliberate strangulation of the local government, and is now a tool for political psychophancy, where political mediocres are rewarded positions just for settlements.
Yeah.
Chamberlain, how many jobs do you know pay better than politics?
That's a good question. It's become a profit generation.
So politics, that's why I said politics has now become a revenue stream for so many. At the detriment of the people.
Of the people, yes.
At the detriment of service.
Yeah.
A politician shouldn't be the richest person in the room.
No.
Because it depends on the room. who are the others in the room? Go ahead, I'm kidding, go ahead.
Can we be more service driven?
Yeah.
Can we be more values driven as a people, knowing fully well that I would only be in this position for a little while?
Yeah.
Can I use it for the good of others?
Yeah.
I think that also takes me back to our family roots, our real, like the African traditional values we have lost as a people.
Yeah.
Now, in Japan, these people also have technology.
Yeah.
But it has never affected their culture, their tradition, their way of life.
And people will see them during the World Cup. Their fans are probably the ones going to be sweeping for all of their matches.
Exactly.
They are probably going to be sweeping the stadium and picking the trash, right? Because it's now
deep
part
culture
of their life.
Deep culture.
I think as at 2024.
Very cultural.
Only one, was it 2024 or 2023? It was only one bullet that was recorded shot, like one gun shot across Japan.
Yeah.
Okay. We're not there yet, gentlemen. The plan is to try to get there. We'll have some projections and I will take calls. But you've already highlighted this through the entire conversation. But of course, I'd like to double click on it.
Yeah.
What has the 2050 project been doing?
Yeah.
What are you looking to do with this anniversary?
Yeah.
What projects do you have ongoing right now?
Yeah, no, the first plan, and I think this has been since last year, even when we had the initial conversation last February, the plan is to launch a vision for River State for the next 25 years.
Yeah.
We've been working on this for over a year. We brought together experts. I mean, Sam, you were there when we brought the media and entertainment sector together. We've brought in different sectors, blue economy, people in housing, to talk about even like affordable housing for River. How do we even come up with laws that regulate things like, rents, prices, and stuff like that? Yeah. All of this information has been put together. All the info is on our website, but we're also going to put together a vision book that will be launched as well. We've also reached out to the state leaders, so the current governor, past governors as well, because it's a non-partisan project. We're not card-carrying members of political parties. We're young people who care about the future of our state, and we're coming together to ask questions. So that vision book will be launched in November or late October, depending on how we're able to work around the schedule with the INEC calendar. And we hope that it becomes a platform for River citizens to actually shape what they want for the next, for the election, but also for the next 10, 15 years. How can we shape the future of our state together? How can we even raise the quality of what we demand for as a people beyond rice? It cannot always be rice, for God's sake. Rice and beans and all these things and groundnut oil.
They've started adding beans?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know.
So I saw a clip where they were giving I think live day-old chicks or something.
Yes, day-old chicks.
What
can you eat? What is in a day-old chick to eat?
I was literally dumbfounded. I was like, God, have we reduced ourselves to this level of...
Chamberlain, I think that you missed one of the definitions of empowerment. You have no idea the scope of empowerment. If you break it down in Nigerian political context, that is what you saw.
It's the same.
Empowerment.
It's the same.
But let me ask you, are you married?
I'm married.
Good. Have you ever done this, by this time next year, I'll be married? Have you found yourself in a position where you said, before 2020 this?
I should be.
Have you done that before?
We don't do that yet.
Okay, so let's imagine that you do it. If things start getting better from tomorrow morning, let's say for whatever reason, this conversation that Sam had with Eben and Chamberlain on radio stirred the right action and somebody somewhere started doing something. If we start tomorrow, by this time, what year would River State get to this picture that you guys have painted in your head?
Yeah.
How long do you think it would take?
I think that development happens in phases, right?
Yes.
So I think we phased it. We're giving each picture so like a 5-year timeline period, which sort of aligns as well with our political calendar, right?
Yeah.
So because there's a 4-year cycle. But I think that there are things that we can do urgently and start urgently, like Chamberlain mentioned the fact that we need conscious efforts to even like save and invest our state's money. So we even need a law that says once money comes to the state, 20% goes out on economic diversification.
Non-oil.
So that's something you can do instantly, right? Okay. There are also things that you can begin to think about, like energy, for example, which will take a bit more long time because
how do we
investments?
Yeah.
So even the thinking to say, okay, how do we now begin to think of energy from a state-dependent lens beyond the national grid? It will take a while. It will take 5-7 years, but you have to start. You won't just wait and say we'll do, and then you never do anything.
And then we can also look at, for the educational sector, let's say we can look at the mapping of our curriculum, for example. Our curriculum is obsolete.
Yeah.
So can we now map we can map that space of 3 months.
Yeah. Okay.
like holistic mapping of the curriculum in River State.
Actually, there's even one of our partners that's doing it. That's done a needs assessment. They're called Read Cycle. They've done a needs assessment of 10 LGAs in River State, and they submitted their reports to the state government.
Amazing.
And that speaks to like what is the condition of schools in these villages across 10 LGAs. It was ridiculous.
Did they cover the LGA I live in?
It was ridiculous.
Because I have needs too.
And I feel they actually want to do more because University has 23 now.
23, so 10 now, so it's about 13 more.
To do. And this was funded by them. They didn't have any additional funding. It was just passion, and we work closely with them. So there are things we can do instantly, but there are things as well that we need to start and
in phases.
All right. Yeah. So you're giving us a timeline,
so needs mapping,
a time frame,
that, and then you can now look at implementation, follow-up, monitoring. So
I'm going to say a prayer now, and I need the both of you to say amen at the end of the prayer. You guys have no idea what I'm going to pray for, but I need you to say amen. Do you both agree?
I hope it's a good prayer.
Hopefully, this project has better progress than the Ogoni cleanup.
Amen. Because the Ogoni cleanup seems to be has become a mirage.
Well, it is what it is. We'll take a few calls, and then I get back to my guest in the studio. 08179230002 is the 59th anniversary of your state, my state. I live and work here, so by extension, I pay taxes in River State. What's your take on the subject? And so far, do you have contributions to the conversation I'm having with Eben and Chamberlain? Please turn off your radio as you call. 0817-923-0002. Hello, good evening. All right, call back if you can. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, what's your name?
My name is Emeka, calling from Omailey.
Emeka, go straight to the point.
My dear brother, Nigeria at 59.
River State at 59.
No, that. Sorry, River State at 59. We have achieved a lot. But to whom what is given, what is expected? They have given our people that have ruled us a very long time, right from 1999. All of them contributed. Our Delete contributed. Ameti contributed. Wike contributed. And Sin is also contributing. So they have tried. But the problem is they should please do more. Let's see more. Even though they are guests in the studio, I have been hearing their English. You know, Nigerians are good in speaking good English, but putting it into practice. The problem, if they also give them the opportunity, they may not even do half of what these people are doing. That's the problem. But we are good to analyze policy making, but to implement it, it's a problem. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right. Thank you, Emeka. And I'm glad you brought that up. It's a beautiful thing to say. But you see, my guests... my guests are a part of a movement called Policy Shapers that I have collaborated with on a few projects that are already doing things. I'm not talking about people in government. Right? Now... Eben knows how to speak English. And as an Arsenal fan, maybe he has told a few lies. Maybe he has lied here and there. But I've been a part of some of these projects. So I can speak to my involvement. So, but please, go and look up Policy Shapers. At least you should come to your own informed decision. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, what's your name?
I'm from River.
Go ahead.
I will first of all have to thank the Wikina, I think so, in your studio, and the other man. Especially the Wikina, I think 1 week ago he was on another radio platform trying to bring up this idea. It's very good. So, if you look at the hierarchy structure of every place, politics is at the top, and politics controls a lot of development. That's why in the morning when I engaged your colleague and I have not brought together what I wanted to tell him and I was cut off, I did not take it personal because the path we are showing to encounter things like that. But what I will say is that if we agree that politics controls a lot of these things, the people who dictate the pace of politics have to be very fair in distributing portfolios and leadership structure. You cannot be in control of things and myself in control of things and results will be the same. And that's why one side of the state is developing than the other. Because we don't have fairness when it comes to distribution. And also, I would say that, because I know I don't have all the time to say this, let me say that our leaders should see into some of these things. Because if you allow politics and parties to, take over the whole state, we will not have massive development.
All right.
Politics should be evenly distributed. I know I will not have all the time to say all this. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well spoken. Well, there's a whole lot to unpack. Good day, Sam and guests. The 59th independence since the creation of River State has not been fully industrialized. River State needs to be changed for instant development, such as education, industry, human potential, energy, and economic diversification. Rivers people must rise up to the occasion and let's build rivers of our dreams. Pastor Sunday from Rumibo says. And this one reads, Sam and Co. Personally, the best government so far in the 59 years of River State is the period of ex-military governor Diete. Yeah, next period of ex-governor Rotimi Amechi, i.e. Uchibeke, says. But the Oracle, the question is, where has all the money gone? To people looted this money? We should ask for accountability. Chinemere Sylvester George. All right, well, usually time has a way of reminding you that it's never enough.
Yeah.
So, what do people need to do? How can they be a part of this project? What parts should they play to ensure that Rivers becomes what it should be?
Yeah, I mean, just like I said, first things first, we need as many people as possible to join this movement. And I like that, Sam, you called this a movement, because we see this beyond just a one-time project. It's something that needs to be sustained for citizens to be able to work. So people should visit rivers2050.org or .org. You would see all the information about the projects, how you can join us, join the sessions that we have. We speak to the private sector, we bring people from international. We spoke to just last week, we spoke to folks from the governments in Singapore to also tell us how they've been able to build their economy as well. So do that. You could also take it one step further and take the statewide survey that we're doing currently. Like I said, we're trying to hit 5,000, but we still feel like we should speak to more people, because River State population is over 7
over 7 million.
Yeah.
So we have about, I think, as at the records I saw was about 7.4.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then if we go on government records, about 7 million. So we're still below if we even go with that 5,000.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean, it's taking a lot of money to reach 5,000, but we still know that there's so much we can do. So please visit rivers2050.org/survey, and you'll be able to find the survey links to be able to take this.
It's anonymous, so we don't need your name. Just go ahead to fill the
really?
Yeah.
The needs assessment part, can I go there and tell people what I really need?
You can, yes.
What do you need?
On a personal level, not as a community, me on my own.
Please, as a community, please.
Okay.
We might not be able to solve all the personal.
No, I'm just saying, 50 liters of fuel. Just 50 liters of fuel. It's not weekly. It's not weekly. Thank you, Chamberlain. You're there.
Chamberlain is adding to your needs.
Yes, sir, and he's helping. Well, Chamberlain and Eben, thank you very much for making the time.
Thank you so much for
we always run out of time when we share space together, Ebenezar. I'm sure we'll have other opportunities.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
All right. Well, thanks for being a part of this conversation. By this time next year, Rivers will be 60. I'm hoping that when we have the conversation at that time, it'll be about all the things that we've done from the last time till now. The news update comes up at 5. After that, we're going back to the bread and butter of River State, politics. Stay with us.